Hi everyone and welcome to episode 44 of United City Randomiser. Well, what a difference a couple of games can make. So we finished last episode against Stuttgart, having been on a pretty terrible run really, other than the decent win against Basel in the Champions League. And since Stuttgart we've had a couple of games against, to be fair, a couple of slightly easier opponents than some that we played in September. We got a couple of decent wins from it. We rotated the side between the two games, so everybody got a game pretty much. And you can see that we got some decent amount of goals from it, which is really positive. Today, the problem that we have for the next few games is that the quality of opposition raises again. Today we have Dortmund in the Bundesliga. And that's going to be challenging leading into the game against PSG in the Champions League. So we've got our work cut out for us again. Currently, we sit in 8th place, but you can really see already that, once we've played our 11th game today and we come equal in terms of the bulk of the teams around us, potentially, again, we could only be 3 points from the top if we win today's game. So there's all to play for everybody. It's a really close, tight season so far, having played 10 or 11 games. So that's encouraging in the sense of a few good wins can put us in a decent position. It also means, of course, that if we don't get any decent results in the next few Bundesliga matches, we could drop off as well. So it's important that we try and maintain some form of momentum moving forward, having had a couple of decent games recently. So in terms of team news for us, we still have our two main fullbacks, right and left sided fullbacks, out of action for another couple of weeks yet, which is really unfortunate. You can see that Jadon Sancho is a doubt for Dortmund today, which is a real positive for us. But the rest of the team for today's game looks like this. So we'll start off with Kabul in goal, Klünter at right back, as we've had issues with Mania, as I say, in terms of injury, and Breyer has played quite a bit recently, so Klünter comes in, De Silva on the left side, Gimber and Kempf in the centre of defence. We've got Burnich and Bischler playing in our central midfield, Gundogdu on the right, Davies on the left, and Mount supporting Fabio Silva up top in our Gegenpress formation. So that's the side for today. You can see the sub bench has got decent cover for most positions on it, so we're not looking too bad. In terms of Tiru and Siflidis, both are on their way back, which is positive. If we check in on Mania, he's still got 7 days out, and DeMarco's got another few days out, so they're not far off. They're slightly closer to returning than I thought they were, which is really positive because we need our full strength squad leading into the next few games as much as is possible. So yep, that's the team for today. Dortmund are going to create a big challenge for us, but we'll give it as best go as we can. So let's get into the game and see what happens. So I've tried to encourage them to say go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match. A few people are happy with that, not as many as I'd like, but that's okay. Dortmund are without Sancho, so that's a positive for us. So we'll go into the game and we get kickoff and we're at home. So we're in our purple, they're in their yellow, and here's an opportunity for a highlight. So De Silva on the long throw gets it back off a clearance, and we maintain possession for now. Bischler in the middle, Kempf and Bischler playing decent keep ball. It finds itself to De Silva again. Can he get across? And he can. And Fabio Silva on the far post gets a decent opportunity, but the goalkeeper is there and claws it away. Unfortunate, but decent build-up play. And Silva recently has been on good form. He got a couple of goals recently, so that's encouraging. Let's hope that at some point he can stamp his mark on this game as well with another goal. But decent start. Here's an opportunity for them on the free kick. Volland from the edge of the box and gets a real long shot in that goes sailing over the top of the bar and doesn't really challenge the goalkeeper in any way, which is, positive for us. Another highlight. It's highlight heavy, isn't it, after 14 minutes? So we build up from the back, and Davies finds it on the left-hand side. But again, we cut centrally, and our 3 midfield players play keep ball well. Gundogdu has a decent long shot, but, well, I say decent, it wasn't particularly, was it? It was a long shot. That's about as much as you can say for it. It went sailing over the top again, a bit like Dortmund's effort did. So a couple of minutes of a slightly lesser highlight heavy play, But again, we come back with Dortmund on the left-hand side with a throw-in, and again they attempt to build up from the back. We maintain a decent shape. Hopefully we can get a challenge in defence, but we can't. And they ran straight at us, and nobody seemed to close them down, which was really disappointing, because that's what the Gegenpress is supposed to do. We'll look at it again on the 3D. I mean, our midfield were all over this near side of the pitch and left a couple of free players on the far side of the pitch. And look at that. I mean, they've got like 5 players in the box. And we weren't organised enough somehow to cope with that, which was really disappointing. So we find ourselves 1-0 down after half an hour. And, first 15 minutes I thought we were doing quite well. So that's a little disappointing. Again, they come out from a goal kick and try and build it from the back. Although he goes long, can we get a header in? No, we can't. The attacking player wins the ball. And David Neres, is out on the left-hand side. A decent cross in. And again, poor defensive play, isn't it? I mean, the cross was just a long raking one, really, from Hector. You can see Neres drops it back to Hector, and he just long ball in, and the only person that reacts to it is their attacking player, Josep. And all of our defenders just stand around going, what, we supposed to do something? And none of them do anything. You can see that he's all onside, which I didn't have any doubt on. Goalkeeper tried, but really poor defensive play, and you can see that in the ratings of the players. Nobody's above 6.5 really, and it's just so disappointing. Again, we get a couple of games of momentum, and then it disappears on us somehow. We have an opportunity from a corner, but we dropped it back. Can we get an opportunity at goal? We can, but Mount puts it slightly wide. It was an interesting corner. It came back to Burnich, and we had to build up again. Bischler gets it over to Gimba, who pokes it through to Mount, who takes a touch and then has a shot at goal. Maybe he should have struck it first time, I don't know, but yeah, it was close, but it wasn't quite close enough. You can see at the end of the first half we're 2-0 down, but the match stats don't really suggest that, do they? It suggests that it's quite an even game. So somehow we're going to have to get them motivated to try and find something different in the second half. So because it's so even, I am going to aggressively say I expect to see more from you, because they're more than capable of it. They've shown that in the first half. They all seem motivated, so we'll go and have another go. We've had a slightly rotated side, and that can bring some instability occasionally, but they're better than they're showing, should I say. They're playing all right in bits, but just not the quality when we need it. So Dortmund had an opportunity there that came to nothing, which I'm more than pleased about. I think a third goal at that point would be really problematic, but here we come with a highlight of our own. Hopefully we can get it through them to have a highlight of our own. Came off a throw-in, and eventually we go long, and the goalkeeper faffs it, which is brilliant. We'll take a mistake, and there's another goal for Silva, and he's found his shooting boots. I said at the beginning of the season, last season he was really poor, but I could see the quality in his attributes, so we gave him another shout this year on loan, and I'm pleased that we did, because he's just beginning to show that he's capable. So that's encouraging. We'll take the mistake by the goalkeeper. That gets us back into the game, and we now sit at 2-1 after 56 minutes. So that feels better. And the stats, the game stats, the match stats show that we're in this game. So I'm happy about that. Can we keep the pressure on them up, though, a little bit, and try and get something better from the game in terms of results? But here they come on an attack. Working on their right hand side, and again Neres on the far side is really free and easy for them, but eventually it breaks down and we survive it. But yeah, the marking on wide positions isn't great, is it, particularly? But here we come again, and again they have players in acres of space. It's just so infuriating. I don't understand why they're able to find so much space. Nobody reacts to the balls other than the attacking players. The defenders are just stood around doing nothing. And that is not how we set them up to be. So we're going to have to make a couple of changes. As I say, unfortunately, look, the simple reality is, if you look, we've got both our fullbacks here that are not playing well enough, and our backup our first team ones aren't available to us yet, and that's a big problem. But we are going to have to make a couple of defensive substitutions, because that's where primarily we've had the biggest issues. You can see our wide men up top, Davies and Gundogdu, aren't playing well either, so we're going to have to change one of them. So we're going to take Davies off and put Wilson on, and that's all we can do at this point. I'm happy enough that the Gegenpress, if we pause the game for a second, the Gegenpress is providing us with a decent opportunity for a result. You can see that we're attacking in all of our in our different areas of the pitch, which is positive. You can see that we're outdoing them on shots and on target. Fouls is, okay, fine, 1 yellow card, but the possession's not bad either. But you can see, look, their ratings are just so much higher than us in terms of the quality that they have on the ball. I'm not really understanding how that works, but here we are. This is where we find ourselves. Excuse me. Whilst they again, we have the ball from our right hand side and it goes centrally, and can we get through their press to have another opportunity at goal? I hope we can. Gundogdu on the right hand side, and what was that? What was it? Was it a ridiculously long shot? Was it a cross-in? Well, whichever way it was, neither really happened. Eventually, Burnich intercepts the ball, which is positive, and that gets us another opportunity. I thought they were going to counter-attack on us for a second, and they still might, you never know. But there's a long ball over the top for Silva to get onto, and again, the defenders don't quite clear it, and he has a second stab at it, but doesn't quite make the goal, which is unfortunate. Cross comes in on the corner, and that's where the highlight ends. You can see Bischler back to Gull, who puts it over the top, and Silva uses his pace to get through. Decent first touch, good block, but it enables Fabio Silva to get another opportunity, and then the goalkeeper saves the second shot, which is, good goalkeeping. Great, fine. Unfortunate for us, though, wasn't it, really? Here we come again. We're piling on the pressure a little bit. Mount with the long shot, and there's a second goal for us out of a little bit of quality from Mount. So the original cross comes in and they deal with it, but it drops back to Mount on the edge of the box eventually. He gets a good first touch, gets it out of his feet, and then powers the shot home, and a really lovely goal. Well done, Mason Mount. He got a goal again recently, so he's beginning to show that he's capable to do what we ask him to do, which is good. So we're at 82 minutes, so we're not near the end of the match yet, and they come with a highlight, but we get a good interception in. Wilson ends up with the ball, and we try and bring it back out from the back, and again we go long too early, and I'm not sure why, because that's not how we asked them to play. And eventually we kind of luckily get the ball back again, really. They could have really put us to the sword on that one, but we're still deep in our own half, and we need to move our team forward and try and move the ball forward and keep possession, which we are doing, which is good. De Silva with the cross into the far post, and it comes off the woodwork, which is really unfortunate. A good move, a really good cross in from De Silva in the end, but unfortunately, again, just at that last second, the quality wasn't quite there on that occasion. Otherwise, we could have found ourselves with a real opportunity to draw this game instead of what looks like we're going to come out with a loss, unless we get something here, which we don't. And there's the final whistle. So what is it? Is it disappointing? It is, because we lost, and I never like to lose. It's not disappointing in terms of the style of play that we've had. In terms of the game stats, they've all been positive and shown that we were in the match. But a couple of real defensive lapses, wasn't it, really? And that's what's really killed us for the game. You can see that, our players are mostly on a 6 point something, and they've got more sevens and, and higher for them. So that's where we lost it. Individual errors, really, at the defensive area. So we'll let the assistant say that we're disappointed by that. And we'll just go in and check what that's done. That will put Borussia Dortmund away from us in the league, which is unfortunately... See, we were made to rue missed chances. So we had the opportunities there, but defensively we were poor. So one last look at what that does to the league position. We're sitting in 9th. Dortmund have moved away from us a little bit, and that's what we said. If we win, we're a couple of points away from the top. If we lose, we're drifting slightly, and that's not good enough, and we need to change that. What have we got coming up? Well, we've got a really tough game against PSG and the Champions League. Then I think a couple of decent opportunities in the league. I mean, Bayer Leverkusen are sitting top, which is unfortunate because that's going to be tough then, isn't it? But, I think we can do okay. And then we've got Mainz, who are further down. So there's a good opportunity for some points. And again, with Augsburg as well, who are further down. So there are opportunities coming up to get some points out of the game. So, the Mainz game is not a league match, is it? Sorry, my mistake. That's the cup game. And that's the next game that we're going to come back to. So I'll play the next really tough couple of games, and then we'll come back for Mainz and see if we can progress in the cup, because that's another thing that we haven't been able to achieve so far in this save, and we need to start doing so. So I will see you for the next episode against Mainz. So in the meantime, if you're enjoying the series, why not chuck a subscribe on the channel, keep up to date with the videos. If you're enjoying the videos themselves, the episodes, then why not like them, click that like button so it gets seen by other people, which will help me out enormously. But until the next game, the next episode, should I say, if you're playing Football Manager yourself, enjoy that. Let me know what you're up to in the comments below in terms of what your save is doing, whether it's good or bad, and any other thoughts you have about the game. Until next time, take care, and I will see you soon. So, bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.